Okay, we're streaming, we're doing it. And I now have the squeakiest chair, maybe in North America. But we're gonna deal with it. It's gonna be okay. All right, here we are. Hello. Hello, if there's anyone there. Thank you for joining me. Spontaneous stream because I haven't for quite a while. I think it's been like more than a month since I've streamed to the channel, and that felt bad. So I'm gonna stream right now. Just for a little while. I have some things going on later today. But in the meantime, love just visiting with folks, so we'll see how it goes. I'll read through some news and things, and who knows what else. Just kind of hang out. So here we go. Drink some coffee, try to get motivated. Zup is here already. Welcome. Welcome back, Zup. Zup asks, how is my day? My day's okay. I mean, it's Sunday. I never know what to do with my Sundays to begin with, I think. I'm not a big fan of them. And I'm like, well, it's still the weekend. I can get stuff done. That's what I usually like to do on the weekend. But if I don't have the motivation, or if I feel like I should be out and about doing other things, then I just don't. And I feel bad for not getting things done. So that's the usual thing. But today's been fine. It's been fine. Pretty relaxing, just kind of hanging out. Cleaning. I enjoy cleaning sometimes. Here, let me move my camera over here, because I am trying to catch up on some of the news, some of the industry news as well, because I haven't done that in quite a long time. For example, Wall-E is getting a Criterion release, which is interesting. Yeah, I guess that is the first Disney Criterion release. That makes sense. What else? Here's an ad for some school. How are you doing, Zup? What's going on? What have you been up to lately? Oh, this is pretty short, huh? Yeah. Yep. So I guess Stanton reached out to them. Oh. Okay. Yeah, maybe a 4K copy of that would be pretty fun. He's directing some live action movie. Okay, interesting, sort of. What else we got here? Academy reverses stance. Says Apollo 10.5 can qualify for Best Animated Feature. Okay. Oh, it's a Linklater movie. Oh, more rotoscope stuff. He loves that rotoscope. Camp. Sleep. I'm going to assume that's camp and sleep. Maybe. That's pretty cool. Are you actually at a camp in November? Well, I guess it depends on where you're living. Up here in November wouldn't be a great time for camp, but you know. Okay, so I guess it was I thought it would be a dispute over like the runtime of the movie, because if it's not X amount of minutes long, it can't qualify as a feature as opposed to being a short film. So I thought it would be something like that. The Academy also confirmed that Marcel the Shell are also eligible. Okay, so it doesn't mean they're officially nominated yet, because we haven't gotten that far. But interesting. Okay, I actually still haven't watched the Marcel the Shell movie, and I would really like to. I made a whole video about it. I missed the theatrical release completely, and I think now it's out streaming, so that's going on. But yeah, like rotoscope, it is animation. I don't really understand what was going on there. Zup says I'm done with it now, or maybe doing it now, camp. And yeah, different time zones. We have Christmas in the summer and December. There you go. It's pretty fun. You're a pretty big Sonic fan, right, Sup? Have you been playing Sonic Frontiers? You gotten your hands on that one? And if I'm wrong, just correct me. Disney reported its Q4 earnings. Oh, this is the exciting stuff. Financial analysts were unimpressed with what they heard from CEO Bob Chapek, citing losses. Really? A stunted growth forecast. Chapek's going to be fired. Man, that dude's been around for a long time, huh? Kramer. So really, has Disney actually been losing money? Walt Disney Company stock tumbled to a 2-year low, and this has to do with DTC streaming stuff. A weak forecast. Disney's projecting growth, moderate growth. Okay. Rarely have we ever been so incorrect in our forecasting of Disney profits. $1.47 billion loss for their streaming division. Okay, well, that maybe explains some of the increased pricing on there. They're not going to reach profitability until 2024. Oh my goodness. Anyway, don't have it yet, maybe for Christmas. Oh, okay. I've been hearing mixed things on it so far. Sonic Frontiers. I didn't even know that Bob Iger was gone. I really should have been paying more attention, huh? Oh my goodness. But Chapek's gonna be around for a while longer, at least. Okay. Well, there's that. See, we're learning things. We're doing stuff. Texts. Okay, and I hadn't heard of this at all. A feature Apostolo. I'll ask someone else how to pronounce that. And you can stream this movie for free. It is a wait. Are they saying it has some Oscar that's not the real Oscars? What the heck? Song request. Open Your Heart by Crush 40. Well, if it's a copyrighted song, then I can't play it. So there's that. But I'll take a look in another window anyway. Is it a Sonic song? Is it Sonic related? It is. Oh, it's okay. It'll probably be okay. Maybe. Let's find out. Let's just go ahead and try to play the Sonic song and see if we get in trouble. Anything? Is it going? I guess it's a very slow start. Translates to the Apostle. That makes sense. There you go. We got some Sonic music going. I mean, Sonic does have a very solid history in terms of soundtracks. Sort of detached from the game quality itself, which has been up and down. But yeah, thanks. Netflix's Scrooge: A Christmas Carol gets a haunting trailer. That's not the most substantial headline. Stability AI raises $101 million for open source AI image generation software. So what would that actually mean within the broader context of AI generated imagery? Just having an open source option as opposed to the versions that are being built into like paid software packages and services. It's a very big topic. Probably not something I'll really get into on the channel. But there is a lot of discussion going on right now about AI generated art, which is funny because I think it was actually on one of these streams many moons ago when somebody introduced me to the concept. It might have been Purple. I was like, oh yeah, here's DALL-E, which I think has been renamed. Anyway, I won't get too into that right now. This is a nice light Hangout stream. But yeah. It's from Sonic Adventure 1, which I still haven't played. I have played a fair bit of Sonic Adventure 2 and Generations, some of the Genesis stuff. That's about it. I really don't have too much experience there. And Toots is here. How's it going, Toots? How you doing? You doing all right? Everything going well? Sub says I have a PS1 and I get nostalgia from it, but didn't grow up with it. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, I've heard people refer to the concept of like borrowed nostalgia. You know, where you get to experience something that other people have nostalgia for, like after the fact. And I mean, it's completely valid. Like I don't necessarily put that in a separate category. But yeah, in terms of stuff that you've experienced yourself growing up, that can just definitely be a different sensation when revisiting, which I'm realizing more and more as I get not old exactly, but older. What is this? Witches, goblins, and an ogre deal with substance abuse, depression, and domestic violence. And Alberto Vasquez is... Oh, we know Alberto Vasquez. Yeah, it's a short... isn't Alberto Vasquez Bird Boy? Or am I mashing people together and I'm completely wrong? Art style sort of seems reminiscent. Homeless Home. That's an attractive title. Unicorn Wars. No, was it a different guy? Unicorn Wars is here. I have to check. I have to check who directed Bird Boy. I don't. Who is it? Where's the director? It was Alberto Vasquez. Unless it's two people with the same name, but I doubt it. But okay, this is okay. See, this is why we read the internet. Yeah, we actually learn some things and get tipped off to new stuff. Gee, kids, what a surprise. They got the distribution rights for one of his other movies called Unicorn Wars. Okay. There you go. Can we get some other screen caps here or something? Yeah, the art is something else, huh? I mean, it's certainly a departure from his super desaturated stuff. I mean, Bird Boy is very desaturated. That other short just looks like grayscale, you know? But yeah, this dude's a big deal. And there's that. And boy, they've written about this particular movie quite a bit. But Toon says, I'm not doing great. I have a flu. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Although I guess being on the computer or other device is a decent thing to do when you're at home sick. But it's just the worst. There's really nothing to help out when you're really in the throes of one of those, you know, whether it's a really bad cold or the flu. Or I did get COVID earlier this year, I guess this past summer. And it was like shockingly bad for just like a few days, but man, oh man, did it remind me how much it sucks to just be sick and you can't do much at all. Yes, Del Toro's Pinocchio is coming out pretty darn soon. I might actually check to see whether I do think it will have a limited theatrical release, and usually in LA, anything that's going after Oscar noms will have quite a few screenings at some of the theaters out here. So I might have to look into that, because that would be fun. It's definitely one that I would like to see in a theater, but I guess I could say that about most new movies that I'm interested in. Circle tune signs with odd projects. Oh gosh. I'm not the biggest fan of circle tunes. I mean, the work is fine. I don't dislike it, but okay, good for that guy. There's a new One Piece movie out. Isn't there also a new One Piece game coming out? Anime is booming at the US box office. Yeah, okay. Sorry, let me catch up. Sonic CD has a good soundtrack for Japan, but not really for us. Did that have to deal with like hardware differences, or did that just come down to different composers or different sound stuff? well, I guess it would be hardware again. But I know with consoles have the different, you know, sound chips, etc. The way they produce stuff or reproduce music is completely different, especially in the days of like early CD music stuff, or for that MIDI reproduction. There's a huge range of sound quality and stuff. Toot says I've been playing Data Boy 2 this long weekend, so at least that's fun. That's cool. Yeah, I know you'd finally gotten that PS5, and yeah, I won't be playing that for a long time because I don't really have plans to get a PlayStation at the moment. And I'm not surprised that I've been hearing positive things about it so far, so that's that. Jude says there's a scene in Community where Britta says that she grew up watching shows before she was born because she was a very nostalgic child. I feel that on a spiritual level. It's funny. And yeah, and I in the context of that show, it's meant to be like a goof, you know, it's kind of a dig at her personality. But yeah, it is a thing, and especially now that we just have access to most things from other eras of entertainment. I don't know. I feel like it's almost as likely to get involved with some of that stuff as, you know, getting into the brand new properties and such. Anyway, Raya and The Last Dragon co-director to helm Your Name live action remake. What is it? Why live action of animated stuff? Is it because of the Disney precedent? That doesn't... Anyway. I feel like I saw this short come up on Criterion. Maybe it just looks similar to something. No, I'm pretty darn sure I have seen that exact image, screen cap, whatever, on Criterion, but I haven't watched that short yet. What is this? Netflix and Disney dominate nominations at first ever Children's and Family Emmys. Oh, look, it's City of Ghosts. Are these all things? These aren't things that released this year, right? This episode of Camp was hard. It's going uphill a water slide. Jammed my finger in the door. Wow, sounds like you were partying hard at camp. But a water slide at camp, that sounds pretty fun. And also the boss. There's a boss song from Sonic CD. Okay. Let's see if I can track. Right now it's doing autoplay for hopefully stuff that I won't get in trouble for. But who knows? Who knows? But yeah, let's look into... There's some... Okay, children's animation... Family Emmys. Okay. Okay, I don't know if we need a separation, especially because so many people outside of like the animation, I don't know, fandom community, whatever, already have that assumption of like, oh, animation equals children's entertainment. I don't know, maybe this will be helpful in some way. Anyway, they nominated a bunch of things, and a lot of it we're familiar with, which shouldn't be too surprising. Preschool shows, I don't know those and haven't talked about them, but City of Ghosts, Cuphead Show, Louder and Prouder, I've talked about almost all of these. Not this, I did look at a little bit of this show. Don't even know what that one is, but there you go. Special Class Animated Program. I don't really know what that means. Transformania. See, I liked the visuals of that movie. It's not a good movie. Maya and the Three, of course, is excellent. Oh, and then shorts. Okay. Interactive media. Cat Burglars. Does Cat Burglar qualify as family animation? It's... Maybe they haven't seen it. In Space with Markiplier. Oh, God. Oh. And then there's advertising? Promotional announcement? It sounds like advertising, marketing stuff to me. Voice acting. Okay, so there's a new Emmys category / show. And here's more things about it. Main title and graphics goes to Molly McGee. I love that theme song. You know, I love that theme song. Zep says the US one, I guess the boss song, Sonic CD, sounds creepy, but the Japanese one's bopping. Dude says I'm unironically hyped for Avatar 2 Shape of Water. What are your thoughts on it? I have some thoughts, but not too many thoughts, because for one thing, I haven't looked into it besides the sorry, had to get the text off. Okay. Okay, well, yeah, so I saw that what I guess it was essentially a reveal trailer much earlier this year. I saw that and thought, okay, it's finally here, more Avatar. And apparently they have a couple ready to go, more or less, for subsequent releases. I didn't care much about that trailer. I thought it was fine. I wasn't really involved in the hype stuff for the original Avatar movie. I never saw it in the theater. I didn't see it for the first time until like 2018, maybe 2018, 2019. And thought it was fine, but I didn't get the big giant IMAX 3D expensive ticket experience with that either. And that's so much of what people loved about it were the visuals and just the sheer like production value. So with that said, I'm not like, I wouldn't say that I am currently hyped for Avatar 2. I'm curious, I could say, especially because we haven't gotten, as far as I've seen, a ton more marketing for it yet. December release, it's going to be pretty soon that we start seeing a lot of marketing behind it. And that's not only because, you know, well, it's obvious, but also I happen to know someone through certain friends and connections and stuff. I do know someone who works in marketing at Disney right now. And I was talking to them just the other day, and they just said like, oh, we're swamped between, was it Avatar and the Black Panther movie? Or was there another one? Either way, they mentioned Avatar for sure. And just that it's been super, super busy. So they have no doubt prepared a whole bunch of stuff. There's a whole campaign planned out, I am sure. I'm not sharing details that they shared with me, but we know that. We know it's happening. I'm interested to see what they'll do in terms of like licensed products. I feel like that's been a less popular option in recent years. It was a big thing early 2000s and even early 2010s. You just do a bunch of licensing deals, toys and merch and McDonald's meals and all that kind of stuff. I don't get the feeling that's going to be the direction this time, but I have no doubt it'll be advertised all over the internet and tons of TV spots, even though I don't have TV, so I probably won't be seeing too much of that. So long story short, I'm curious to see how it does, both in terms of like the quality of the movie itself and audience reaction to it and financial performance. All of that's going to be very interesting to see. And beyond that, I don't know whether I'll see it in the theaters or not. I have no idea. But yeah, and I guess the other major thing is that because of James Cameron's reputation, as well as the reputation of the original Avatar movie for like really cutting edge visual effects and really, you know, trying to push specifically CG imagery and effects forward, we'll see. That's a lot to live up to, you know, especially right now when there's been a lot going on, let's say, in terms of the number of visual effects artists needed for a lot of CG stuff and the way that a lot of those artists are treated by, you know, big industry studios. So there's a lot up in the air. There's a lot up in the air. I still don't like the title of the movie. But yeah, so we will see. But I'm really glad that you're excited about it, and I definitely think it is something worth getting excited about, especially if you've been a fan of the original movie ever since that came out. I do know there's still a pretty dedicated fan base. and the opportunity to add to that fan base is exciting for any fan community, right? Um, so yeah, that'll be something to see. But I probably won't be checking it out opening weekend or anything like that. But that's definitely something you should look into. Like if you know that nearby there's some kind of really nice IMAX theater, or just a good theater in general that has all the cutting edge tech and great sound systems and stuff. That's just fun in general. Just the spectacle of seeing a really expensive movie on great hardware, I guess is the word. But yeah. Toot says I enjoyed the first movie well enough when I saw it in the theater. Then I made fun of it for a few years, and now I've come around to unironically enjoying it. Also, welcome back, Seth. How's it going? That's fair. Yeah, and also it's just been so long. It has been over 10 years easily at this point. And as a result, it's tracked along with a lot of us as we've grown up, or grown a little bit older. And yeah, it's very strange to think of like, okay, that original movie was coming out. I guess I would have been in high school, probably. And now I am very much not in high school. And it's a bit of a head trip, I guess. It's just been a very long time. And it was also just a collective joke for such a long time of like, are they ever going to do more Avatar stuff? They kept talking about it every once in a while and saying, oh yeah, we're working hard, we're making a bunch of things. I didn't hear any leaks get out. That's kind of shocking in and of itself. Like, I guess nobody working on these movies leaks anything. That's crazy. That is pretty rare these days. Anyway, Toot says, I watched it again last night. Oh, very recently. Okay. And the CGI environments have held up so well compared to any other CG heavy movie from the time. Yeah, I would definitely say that it's held up very well compared to most from around that time. I don't know. I have some friends who are big into like concept art and art direction for movies who tell me that it's like very well done, that they got some really good people to hash out the look of that movie, and I believe them. And at the same time, on a technical level, yeah, I do think it's very impressive. I was just never especially interested in the look of that world. And even just the use of color saturation throughout, I'd have to go back and really look at it again. But my general impression, thinking back on it, is just like saturation kind of everywhere. And bioluminescence all over the place, and just kind of too much maximalism, maybe to a fault. But I'm no expert, it's just a preference thing. So yeah, there's that. That's that stuff. But I'm really glad you're excited. And I know a couple people too who are just like, yeah, I want to see how it turns out. And that's cool. That makes movies more exciting. The fact that people want to have a discussion about it and are, like invested in it. Also, the Avatar game was fun, says Toots. I never played it. Weren't they making a new one? Wasn't there some promotional thing about how they were going to make like this incredible looking new Avatar video game? And then I haven't heard anything about it since. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I'll ask the internet. I went to the local video rental store during my lunch breaks at the time just to play the game. I didn't have a console that could run it. There you go. That's working, right? Did you find a way to like have your own save on the in-store console? That would be kind of funny. And just like pick up where you left off. New Avatar video game. I don't know. Yes. Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Splunky here. Splunky is here. Hi, how's it going? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We were just talking about the Avatar sequel, and I could have sworn that uh-oh, the website's a little broken. Uh-oh. maybe they haven't updated it, or maybe this is the fault of my internet, but this site's doing fine. Look at this. This is not this is not what the sidebar should look like. Or this. The logo. It's probably just a loading error, but I kind of think this is funnier. Okay, so I was just saying I haven't seen hide nor hair of this supposed new big giant expensive Avatar video game, apparently being developed by Ubisoft, which is its own issue. Here's a lovely GIF they have. Something. It's a first-person action-adventure game developed by Massive Entertainment, a Ubisoft studio in collaboration with Lightstorm Entertainment and Disney, because yes, Disney owns Avatar. Built using the latest iteration of the Snowdrop engine. Okay, so they're not using Unreal 5 or anything. And developed exclusively for the new generation of consoles and PC. Okay, fair enough. Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora brings to life the alluring world of Pandora with all of its beauty and danger in an immersive open world should be hyphenated, by the way, open world experience. Oh boy. Dude says Ubisoft. Yeah. That's all we have to read on the page. It's just in all caps with their massive logo. Ubisoft. Don't worry about, don't pay attention to any of this stuff. This must be a mistake. Should I reload? Okay. Okay, hold on. In this new standalone story, play as a Na'vi and embark on a journey across the western frontier, a never-before-seen part of Pandora. Explore a living and reactive world inhabited by unique creatures and new characters, and push back the formidable RDA forces that threaten it. Okay, so it's the military-industrial complex bad guys. First person, huh? So it's a Far Cry game. It's from the Division devs. Interesting. Interesting. It's going to be a Far Cry game, right? Far Cry mixed with Division. Is that what the people have been asking for, perhaps? Also, again, with it, yeah, just bioluminescence everywhere, just color all the time. That's, I mean, fair. It looks kind of neat. And here's some more concept art. It's very good looking concept art. I'll say that. I don't know who the artist is, but we know who owns the copyright. Splinky says, I'm all right. Sorry. Took me a second. The Avatar game looks interesting. The way the game is described on the website sounds like it's setting itself up for failure, but not sure how. I don't know. I think it was 2020, or maybe it was around E3 season 2021 when I saw that announcement. Someone can correct me on that. They have a copyright for 2021 and not 2022. And I haven't heard anything about it. Thank you, Motorcycle. I appreciate that. PC, XS, PlayStation 5, Amazon Luna. Is that their streaming thing? Also, have you heard that apparently a lot of devs don't want to be required to program stuff to support play or support it running on the Xbox Series S because it drastically limits supposedly what they're able to do with the game. Anyway, so here it is. Let's see if the page fixes itself. Nope. So there's a chance that they maybe haven't checked up on this. Oh, look at this. Oh, we can almost get them to line up. This almost looks better. I submit this as the new logo because we have like an infinity sign here, sort of. This is kind of neat. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll say that I have more confidence in the new movie. I'm sure that the new movie... I'm sure the new movie will be just fine. We were talking about like potential hype and stuff for it a little while ago. But yeah, this, I don't know. Walking around with a bow in first person, I really do just think like Far Cry. I don't see any mention of a multiplayer component, so there's that. And this also seems like the sort of thing that you would maybe want to do cross promotion for with the release of the new movie, unless we're going to be getting a new Avatar movie every year from here on out for, like, I don't know, 5 years, in which case they can release it whenever and it will contribute to, you know, marketing collective hype for the property, I guess. Anyway, that's that. That's that. I'll get this tab out of here. Dude says thoughts on Mad God by Phil Tippett. It's funny you mention it because I still haven't watched the whole thing. I've watched a decent amount of it. It's on Shudder. I had Shudder for a couple months, and we were planning to do a watch along of Mad God with the Patreon folks, and then basically it just didn't happen for a long time. I got rid of Shudder. I was like, oh great, now I can't watch that anymore. So maybe I'll get it again. If I could buy a physical copy, that would be great. Because I just got a reasonably nice new TV with an OLED panel, so it actually looks pretty good. And now I suddenly prefer physical media because my internet connection is so bad that when I try to stream something, the resolution's all over the place. Anyway, what I saw of Mad God was really cool. I mean, it's grim dark, it's gory. The dude's a special effects guy. He has been for quite a long time, so it's not surprising to me that seems very enticed by, like, high detail, and specifically like anatomical detail that feeds right into the gore. A lot of the designs were neat. Some of the concepts were just really creepy. But yeah, I would definitely have to watch through the whole thing to say anything more definitive about the project. But yeah, the early impressions were definitely very, very positive. So yeah, that's that. LG C1 OLED? Maybe that's what it's called. Did I post about it? Or is it just famous because it's like a Black Friday TV, which it is. Which maybe also means that it's bad. But if I was a review channel, I would review the TV and all the things I don't like about it. But that's not what the channel is, so I probably won't. Fox has ordered the adult animated comedy Universal Basic Guys / the Hoagie Bros, yeah, they'll have to make a decision there, to series. Okay, and it's Game of Thrones people who do have experience with comedy, by the way. Two brothers find themselves jobless when the hot dog factory in their town goes fully automated. Fortunately, the town recently started a universal basic income pilot program, which giving each resident $3,000 per month, no questions asked, with unlimited free time and their basic needs met. The two and their friends have to adjust to a world where they're no longer needed. That's not the worst premise. At first, I was just thinking, oh, this sounds like a Fox show, and I don't care. That's not the worst premise I've ever heard of. And there's a Fox show called Crabopolis that released NFTs. Was Dan Harmon involved with Crapopolis? I don't really want to read more about that right now. Gil says, I want to see Junkhead with Mad God. Guess I'll make it a 2-day double feature. Or just one afternoon when you really want to feel some different things. That would be an interesting experience. Yeah, if Mad God did have like a theatrical release, which I don't think it did, certainly not a wide theatrical release, I would be bummed to have missed that. I do think that's another one that I would actually want to see. Maybe just in general, I'm saying that I would like to see some more stuff in the theaters. Yeah, just haven't done that for a while. I think Dune was the last thing I saw in the theaters. Now, very important question. When does the new Puss in Boots movie finally come out? Is it out? Why am I getting... Okay, I'll show you. I'm getting conflicting information. Look at this. Okay, so The Last Wish. I'm very excited about this movie, actually, mostly because of the art direction. I made a whole video about it. Hang on. Release date, December 21st, okay? Holiday season. Makes sense. It has user ratings, which doesn't make sense. And this says that there are show times. This says that there are people showing it on November 26th in Baldwin Hills. Is that a pre-screening? Can I go to that? John Mulaney's in the movie? Florence Pugh. Anyway, that's odd. Yeah, and it was delayed, so I'm not surprised that people were searching around like, wait, what? Like, what's going on? Can I get tickets? But the jokes, the uninspired jokes. Do you think these places are lying? Yeah, I didn't even know about this One Piece movie. I have been watching some One Piece lately for some reason. I mean, it's okay. So it's not actually here. Also, look at how many different formats you can see the Black Panther movie in. My goodness. But it's not here. So they were just lying, I guess. Or this is just for today. It was the 26th. I'm confused. Anyway, that's a movie I want to see in the movie theater. And I was sad that it got delayed, but okay, holiday release is just fine. So we will see how that goes. Dude says the LG C1 is widely considered the best budget OLED TV. I've got a new TV this summer, and it came down to the LG C1 or the Hisense U8G. I went for the Hisense because it was better in bright rooms. That's cool. I totally forget the name of the TV that I bought, especially because the names aren't good or memorable. But I will say that the built-in like smart features and the OS that LG builds into these TVs now is the worst that I have experienced on like a contemporary tech product. Like very bad to use and experience, and it hides things from you and it collects your data by default to sell to advertisers. Like bad, really bad. But the hardware itself is okay. It says, no, I think the trailer has trite dialogue. For Puss in Boots, I'm not expecting it to be a good movie. I guess I should clarify. The story's going to be fine, if that is what you're referring to. It's going to be fine. Like, even the first Puss in Boots, like, solo movie, whatever, was okay. Looked really neat. Has some funny stuff in there. It was okay. But yeah, no, it's the look of the movie that I'm super into, and we don't even get, I guess I should put in Last Wish, but anyway. I really like the art direction, and I really like the guy who's doing the art direction. In fact, I have some of his stuff as my wallpaper here. Oh, these are all terrible screenshots. Anyway, I made videos about it. I made a video or two about Last Wish and art direction, and yeah, I'm super into it. Can't wait. It'll be okay in terms of character development stuff. You know, Goldilocks is like the villain. That's fine. It's very Shrek. But yeah, I just want to see it. And that tends to be the thing that attracts me to watching stuff in the theater as opposed to at home, is if it's visually compelling, I'll do it. And Gil says, yep, that's about right for LG. Yes, terrible. I don't think I have anything else from LG. And I'm glad, and I will find ways around the OS on this TV, but my word, is it bad. It's really bad. Hardware is great. It's actually pretty solid, but yeah. Anyway, oh no, this is sad. Wendell and Wild can't crack Netflix's top 10 in its first week as acquisitions continue to outperform originals. That's bad news for everybody. It's a pretty good movie. I made a video about that also. Science first look deal with a wild brain. Okay. Oh, maybe. Let's take a look at that. Is there anything else coming out that we care about? Or is it all a bunch of junk? Splinky says, the animation for the new Puss in Boots looks really awesome to me. Puss in Boots itself isn't exactly anything special, but I imagine it'll be just like a cool looking family movie. Yeah, and it's something that I got into with those other videos on the topic is the not burgeoning exactly, but relatively recent move into very smart ways of integrating 2D art and various periods of 2D art with CG models. And Spider-Verse is obviously one of the standouts in that area. And some other stuff from Sony. And it seems like DreamWorks is going in a similar direction, or at least for some of their features. Probably not tentpole stuff. And I'm happy about that because it tends to be more interesting. There's a lot of room for personality and tons of different ideas. And I'm not getting that anymore from like stock CG stuff like we continue to get from Disney and Pixar, also known as Disnar, where you just have the models, you have really nice textures, but other than that, art direction comes down to designs of characters and like color palettes, basically. Still very impressive, but like I don't know, I think there's so much more creative potential when integrating other aspects of 2D art. So that's that. Tooch says the OS on my Hisense is pretty decent. It's just standard Google Android TV. But the display settings are pretty limited. That's too bad. Yeah, settings in general on this TV have been rough, or they just don't seem to know what people actually want in terms of the settings. Tons of stuff on default. HDR has been all over the place. And I was getting some wacky stuff when I was watching some HDR movies on HBO Max. But that's probably not a very interesting story. So I'll just say that it's like a mixed bag. Gil says, Wendell Wild is an admirable movie that's unfortunately a bit dull. I guess I would mostly agree. I like a lot about it. I mean, I made the whole video, so whatever. People can watch that. But yeah, I think the pacing's decent. But if you're not super invested in the character stuff, especially when it comes to our lead character, Kat, that's where I started to have more issues with like staying engaged. But I was also just very happy to kind of stare at all the props and character designs and things. Okay, 6 months since the acquisition of Warner Brothers. Okay, what do they have for us here? Acquisition completed in April. One guy leaves, okay. All right. 3 new original live action productions. Why did Nickelodeon go so hard into live action? I guess because it paid out. A little cheeky comment there. Okay. Okay, what else? Anything else interesting here? Okay, so people are leaving the company / being removed from the company kind of consistently. Girls often graduate out of animation. Oh boy. Aztec era Batman feature? Oh, hadn't even heard of that one. And then yes, of course, August is when we started to hear about the cancellations and stuff. And where the PR really started to take a turn. Oh wow. Just leaves later in the month. Okay. And of course, the removal of the shows from HBO Max is what we have all been talking about on the internet pretty much constantly since it happened. Oh, Infinity Train. Oh, I love Infinity Train. Okay. Several first filed lawsuits on behalf of Discovery investors claiming the company misled them in the lead up to the merger. Great. Awesome. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to read through the whole thing, but anyway. Tude says, which recent animated movie surprised you the most with the art direction? Mike Judge, Greg Daniels, and Sacha Baron Cohen seem like an interesting team. For which project is that? Was that something that I blew right by? Because I am not familiar with what project they are. Oh, is it all for... No, they're not attached to Puss in Boots stuff. A recent animated movie. What have I watched that was recent? Gil says slick art direction is stellar, but his character writing is a bit self-centered. Which are you referring to? Or are you still referring to Wendell and Wild? Or one of the other things? Sorry, I know we talk about so many things so quickly. It's kind of tough to nail them down. Yeah. It's very sad what's been going on with Cartoon Network / the larger Warner Media Group. I guess they're not even called that anymore, are they? Especially now that I have HBO Max, like can I just watch Summer Camp Island? Could I pay a separate fee that would allow me to access this show? Has there been any word of a physical release or anything? Has any other streaming service picked it up? I have not checked. Premium subscriptions, or you could pay by episode, which no one is going to do. Can I just have like a DVD release? Sorry. I'm dredging up old problems. I'm sorry. Let me catch up here. Toot says it was further up in the list that you scrolled through before August. I'm sorry. Let's go back here and get this. Before August. Could I just... Oh, here we go. Chelm, the smartest place on Earth. An animated project by Greg Daniels. Such a very common. Cool. Yeah, let me check on that. Animated special. Okay, so it's just like a one-off thing. A family-oriented animated comedy special. Oh. Oh. Okay. Set in the mythical town of Fools. Originally told in Yiddish. Oh, okay. A nod to Jewish intellectual traditions. Okay, all right. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out, because yes, I am now interested. Is this one of the things that got canned? No, they just announced this. I don't think there's a follow-up, right? Okay. Gil says, yep, Wendell and Wild. Sorry. Okay, thank you for clarifying. That's what you were discussing. I love that show. I love that Summer Camp Island. It's just so good. It's just so good. And hang on, I have a Reddit post here of someone talking about looking for the DVDs. Let me read some of this. Like many of you, I went looking for the Summer Camp Island DVD earlier this week. There were copies on eBay, Amazon, and other ones. There were at least a dozen. But when I went back, all 3 sites were sold out. Yep. Uh-huh. The individual said they're sending 143 copies of the season 1 to 3 DVD to Amazon. It is possible to be alerted by Amazon directly on the listing if you wish to do it that way. We have 143 units in total. My goodness. I mean, I did mention in that video when I talked about the shows being cut and the cancellations, like, yep, the prices are going to go up, or, of course, availability just isn't a thing anymore. Let's go looking. That's the wrong show. Okay. And all of this is streaming, right? looks pretty grim. All right, Gil. I'll try to auto-translate your comment. If this is a way of getting around YouTube censorship. That's sort of admirable. Detect language, please. Thank you. Okay, so this is all rental digital stuff. DVDs currently unavailable, and here on Walmart, it's just out of stock. Okay, so who's gonna make the bootlegs? Who's gonna make like a really nice bootleg with like fan art cover? I would buy that. Just burn it on like your desktop PC from 2005. I think at this point that might send a message. Should we do that? Should we do that? This is a serious question now. And I mean for official, just for the record, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't like pirate a show and distribute copies illegally. But let's say we were going to do that. And we could make it really nice. Or not nice. It could just be like a jewel case in a jewel case. And we send them out in bubble mailers. Do you think anyone would care? Do you think that would go over well? What if we gave it out for free? Is that illegal? Also, Tubes, I apologize for not really answering the question of a recent animated movie where I was really surprised or like impressed by the art direction. Because I wasn't surprised by the art direction of Wendell and Wild, even though I really liked the art direction of that movie. It did feel similar to other Henry Selick stuff and other stop motion work in general. But, okay, this isn't a recent release, but stick with me. I watched Arthur Christmas recently for the very first time, which is a pretty old movie at this point. And I actually really liked that look, and especially the writing of that movie more so than the art direction. The art direction can feel a little bit bland at times, at least for me personally. But I was surprised in general by that movie, of the quality and execution. So that's kind of a half answer. Sorry. But I haven't seen too many recent releases this year anyway, so I'll have to catch up. Maybe I can get some Oscar screeners from a friend of mine and just watch all of those. Toot says, Bad Guys was good. Did that come out this year? I really like the art direction of Bad Guys too. It's not as like outlandish and crazy as Last Wish and some of the other stuff we were talking about, but still pretty darn good. But Toots asks, which non-Disney animated show would you recommend to someone who doesn't watch much animation? The last complete series I watched was probably the new She-Ra. She-Ra is really good, and staying in line with other like DreamWorks shows, DreamWorks animated shows that I think work as adult-friendly animation, so basically for everyone. Kipo is great. Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts, I think is the full title. And everyone's already talked about that one. It had a decent following, but like, that's a very good, just like action adventure-y show. It's just a lot of fun. Really great soundtrack and score in that show. Great voice acting from some great standbys. I don't know. I guess I would potentially tell people to watch Centaur World, which is kind of crazy because I wasn't the biggest fan of that one when it first came out. Also, you might consider that for someone who hasn't watched a bunch of animation in a while, that it might scare them off by being so weird. But if your sense of humor clicks with that show, then I think you would really, really enjoy it. So there's that. I'd really have to think about it some more. I wish a site like Letterboxd would let you log shows as well as movies, because I really just have a list of movies I've watched. And it's not a series at all, but I will continue to recommend that people watch the Steven Spielberg Tintin movie from like 2011, because it's excellent, because it's a really, really good movie, and takes advantage of the fact that it's an animated movie while still feeling somewhat kind of grounded. It's just really good. So I hope that's an okay halfway answer. Spunky says, I imagine there's a Google Drive somewhere. Yeah, I know there is. Like, I could definitely find some files of all of Summer Camp Island, and I might go out and try to do that. But I don't know. Like, there's something enticing about the idea of trying to do like a really neat physical release and make it kind of nice, you know? So anyway, just a thought. Gil says, I think we will have a better chance selling Bluey bootlegs for adults over 40 in Summer Camp Island. That's fair. Yeah, Bluey does have its own weird little following of very much adults. What was the second one you recommended? My brain is too fried from the cold medicine to remember. Maybe I was Kipo, and then I also mentioned Centaur World, and then I mentioned Tintin, which is not a show, and I think that's everything I said. And Gil expresses support for Tintin as well. Yes, I mean, I totally agree. It's just a very good movie. I'm still not crazy about the look of that one overall, and especially at the time it released, I was just kind of weirded out by it. It looks a lot better than Polar Express. I recently rewatched Polar Express as well, and that was a trip. That was an experience. A fun one for all the wrong reasons, of course, but like, yep. Also, did anybody watch Ferdinand? I did not at all. Or Lyle Crocodile. I didn't see that one. I saw it pop up on the website the other day. I don't know what that is. Yeah. See, this is not Summer Camp Island. Oh my goodness. It's so sad. The whole situation is very sad. Boo boo boo. You know what I wanted in terms of Summer Camp Island merch that no one made? Why does this give me a Charlene Yee signed autograph photo? Okay. Nothing on eBay, by the way, for Summer Camp Island DVD. Absolutely zero results worldwide, in case you were curious. Okay. Yep. Yeah, I will look into sourcing those episodes another way. Yeah, that's a real shame, though. That's just yet another effect of those top-level decisions. Toot says, I have to head out for a few minutes. I'll talk to you later if you're still streaming. Yeah, no problem. I probably won't be streaming for too much longer because I have to do things. But it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. And I hope the quality of the video is decent, because for once the internet was decent. So hopefully it's not a giant compressed mess, but who knows? Monkey says, Lyle Crocodile feels like something that would haunt me in my sleep. Oh, so you haven't seen it, just like the concept. It does kind of sound like the name of a monster in like a nursery rhyme, you know what I mean? Purple says hello. Hello, Purple. How's it going? It's good to see you here. So yeah, you just can't get Summer Camp Island physically, and you can't. I mean, you can technically access it digitally if you're willing to pay out what I would consider to be reasonably hefty fees, or you could watch it online or find the files online and just kind of move on with your life. So it's a situation. Sorry. Oh no. Rankin Bass co-founder dies at 87. Prime Video orders Sausage Party animated series? Okay. It says bye. Goodbye. Yeah, I'll wrap it up very shortly here. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. I really appreciate it, especially a random stream like this. I don't stream on a schedule anymore, but who knows? I might soon, and we'll see how the internet fares and all that stuff. But yeah, that's all for now, and hopefully anybody who couldn't come out for the stream live can still watch it, watch the archive version here, because I have another video coming, but it's another longer one, and it's been hard to work on. So it's there, it's happening, but there's too much of a gap, so I just wanted to do something. Anyway, that's all for now. Thank you so much for visiting, and I'll see you next time.